Yeah. We're trying to make a difference in horses' lives, so.
Are we live now?
Yeah, I think so. I know people are joining us, late or now or whatever. I just am grateful for whoever wants to join us and hang out with us. Great. There's a way I can actually create clips from it, and I can share, highlights or whatever.
I feel bad for people on the East Coast. If they even have electricity, they'll see this weather and go, oh my God.
I know, we're so lucky.
I know. I mean, they're in the deep freeze, and here we are having coffee in the pasture.
Flooding, all kinds of craziness going on. I feel really blessed, and at the same time, almost guilty. But, it's all relative, and we are doing good work.
Yeah, we are. Yes, we are.
And I hope that if we have some viewers, if you can let us know if you can hear us, if we need to turn up the volume, if we need to change I'll bring the camera closer just for now.
I wonder if it's recording. And
it's recording.
Okay.
I mean, it's we're live for sure. Just people aren't on yet. We'll see little, human figures. Yeah, but I'll share the live, and that way people can see it even if they didn't tune in now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, totally. It's a pretty cool system. I like YouTube. We love our YouTube community. Cool. We're getting a lot of support. We almost have, we're almost 12,300 subscribers. Thank you guys.
So let's ask, is there anybody local in Santa Cruz County that really, really loves filming? Maybe they'd like to come down.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Volunteer their time and do some filming. You can meet all the horses.
We're looking for videographers.
Yeah, and people that are really savvy on social media. I just created a TikTok account for these girls, and that's as far as I got, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't have the bandwidth to sit down. I've got so much other administrative work to do.
Yeah, it takes time to edit and caption and make sure that you're getting the story out there so that's appropriate for what they're seeing, and we're very transparent. It's all very honest, and we're not AI.
No AI. And both Beyond Liberty and Pregnant Mare Rescue are just about done upgrading and updating our websites, and so it just feels really good to be getting everything polished and clean and clear and easy for people to understand and connect.
Nice.
Yeah, it is nice. And as we keep going, it will, it will grow. The content that you create is so valuable.
Oh, thank you. It's all the horses, they just inspire me so much.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have such a diverse herd, and just including these guys, and this is why I'm with Lynn at her home. We're at the foaling facility.
Yeah, the original location of Pregnant Mare Rescue for over 10 years, maybe 12 or 13.
Yeah,
and then now it's just I'm in the process of putting up new foaling stalls, and they have about 2-acre pasture here. It's really quite pretty, and the weather is a little more gentle here in this valley than it is over at the pasture. The pastures tend to get real high winds.
Yeah, it's pretty intense over there. It's like a completely different world sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen what it does.
Yeah.
But the atmospheric river that came in, it did blow the lid off the Mare Motel. It's behind the shed over there now on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to try and refurbish it and see if we can use it, but I don't want anything flying around decapitating anyone.
Right.
It's bad.
It's terrifying.
The winds get really bad. So I think, this wood shelter down here survives spectacularly. And so I think I'm going to go with wood for a nice foaling stall.
Yeah, I think I'll turn the camera so you can see what she's talking about. There's a foaling stall. There's a stall down below on her property. If it's in the
little,
screen. Yeah. It is little. Sorry, that's my face. So it is. Yeah. It is, right.
It's level,
this
and
is
it's
the
matted, and it's safe and very, very sturdy.
It's very sweet.
I feel really good.
Really close. You can see it from out, from inside the house.
Oh yeah, from my bedroom I can see them, which is nice. I get up, and before I do anything, I look out the window. Where are they?
Are they there?
Yeah. Where are they? What are they doing?
Please stay.
They're usually standing up on the knoll here, kind of taking in the view.
Sweet. And they're like, hey, we're here.
What are you guys thinking about? What do you think about being here? I mean, imagine in Colorado right now, the temperatures are icy cold.
Yeah, this is really mild climate compared to where they were. And so Robyn and Robyn are pregnant, and Lynn is housing them here at the original location of Pregnant Mare Rescue, where it all started.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, how are they doing? Like, as far as, warming up, decompressing, integrating into the space, how is everything going with them emotionally, would you say?
I think it's going very well. I think that it's such a gift to be able to have such a quiet place. I don't have neighbors on the left. I have cows. I have, vegetation behind me and more land that my neighbors own on the right. So there's literally no one driving by, no one here, no visitors. They have just complete peace and quiet.
That's wonderful.
You and I are the only ones, every now and then there's another person that may come. A potential volunteer was here the other day and she stayed about 20 minutes. But I think that's really, really helpful. There's no other horses to worry about, no herd dynamic, no threats, nothing. They just are settling in and getting their 3 squares a day and their treats and fresh water.
It's awesome. And they have grass, plenty of beautiful grass to nibble
everywhere. And so they're coming along nicely. Robyn, obviously, the Dunn is much more willing to engage. And of course, I let it all be their choice. I'm usually on the outside of the fence. Sometimes I come in and I sit by myself, and they're fine with it. They seem fine with it. However, they do spook very easily. It's easy to forget that they are very much on high alert still. Somebody was doing something up above a couple days ago, and I was on the other side of the fence, and they dropped something. And these two were at the far end of the pasture, faster than I could count to 3. I mean, bolted. Wow. And had you been in the way, you'd be on the ground. Yeah. So they're exactly where they need to be, and doing what they need to do. I don't know what Raven's history is. I think that she has suffered tremendous abuse. She is very standoffish and very wary. Raven is. I'm going to turn the camera again too. And there's a difference between wild horses, right? Wild, untouchable Mustangs that I've had.
I said Raven and she looked over here. She definitely knows her name.
Yeah. Ray. Raven. Look at those ears.
I like this little view. I'm going to move my chair if you want to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's just move over so you can kind of. Yeah, I don't want to be in the way of the. We're just getting used to this live thing, so bear with us. It's some action.
Look at our age. It'll explain everything.
Speak for yourself, lady.
I know you are all so much younger than me. It cracks me up.
No, but that was good. Yeah, they just spooked. They just kind of darted. But Robyn's like, nah, I'm not going to leave the food. I'm good.
Yeah, Robyn has much more built-in settlement going on than
she does. She seems to be very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
She doesn't have that body language that says, I've got my ears going a million miles a minute in every direction, so I can be sure I'm not.
Yeah. And like I started to say, there's a difference between, I've had Mustangs in here that have been completely untouched.
Yeah.
And they behave completely different than someone who's been abused like Raven. And then there's the third behavior, which is like Robyn, who may, if I were to guess, I'm not psychic, I think she had a person because she warmed up fast and understood very quickly that I was not a threat. Yeah. And I'm very respectful. I haven't asked her to do anything, although I did teach her how to eat an apple. She was trying to put the whole thing in her mouth, and I kept holding it, and she was looking at me like, let me have it. And I was going, no, bite. She finally went, and she got a big hunk, and then you could just see it in her eyes, like, oh, I get it now. And then she came back. Now she does it every time.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, she's really cute about it.
That's funny.
Yeah, and she nickers to me in the morning, and Raven has too. They nicker.
That's so good.
Yeah, so it means they're settling and understanding that they're safe. I tell them every day, you guys are safe now forever. You have options. I have been in contact with the Nirvana Sanctuary in Texas, If Raven wants to go there and live in a herd of horses, she certainly can.
Okay.
If they want to stay here, they can. If they want to, if there's that perfect home like Peaches has, for Robyn, maybe that would be a good fit. But we have a long way to go. They're pregnant, they need to foal, they need to have their babies. And, we don't know how many babies they've had, what their experience has been. Every mare that I've encountered has a different idea of how long they want to nurse. Some are 4 or 5 months, get off me. Others are 18 months. I've lost 10 foals before you, and you're staying with me, a year and a half.
Yeah.
And we let them do that. And I get, yelled at all the time by other horse people,
I know.
6 months and 6 months. It's
or 4 months. Like some people have told me 4 months.
I know they ship them too. They put them on trailers and ship them. I think that emotionally is really challenging for babies. I think it really is a lot to ask.
It is a lot to ask. And I think that, when they arrive to wherever they are, depending on that individual, that they have lasting effects from it, and it can really impact the rest of their life. And I think that's our responsibility.
Right.
I mean, at least where I'm standing from, we've had so many babies adopted, and the common conversation that comes of that is these babies are so wonderful. They're so happy. Yep. They're so well grounded. Yep. They have all of their faculties about them, and that mental wellness is everything to me. It's just so everything.
A long time ago when Saffron was up at a barn up on the summit, and it was a cold and rainy night, and she was in her stall and she was sick, and the vet had to come out. And I don't know if she tubed her. I wasn't there, but I remember Peggy telling me, the vet kept saying, "This horse is amazing." She was so calm and so easy and so willing, and it was raining and windy and she didn't feel good, and yet through it all she was like, I got this, I'm okay. And that's what grounding does when you raise them right and let them know that they're safe, have enough time with their moms.
Absolutely. That's a big piece. And like you're saying, they're all different. So when you look at them as stock, or just, they're just animals, you're missing a huge piece of the reality of who they can be. Like I just and I often, not to get too deep into the parenting thing, but I often think about my children and how we give them an opportunity. I did gave them an opportunity to find who they are, being a guide, and loving them and listening, really hearing them, and giving them that platform to speak and share their experience of the world, and then working it out together as a team. And I just find that that's exactly what we do at the foals. And the moms, when they come in and they're completely traumatized, and a lot of them we don't even know if they're pregnant, and we can't even get to them. We really do follow a protocol of allowance of them to move through all of it. So, even though they're not in that harm's way anymore, they're not totally clear of that. We are, but I think that our behavior and our way of operating is to really be mindful and conscious of how we, conduct ourselves, and it makes an enormous difference in their healing process, I feel, and what I've witnessed over the years.
I always repeat that I truly believe that people forget that while we're busy living our lives and running around and driving and doing obligations, they're still being horses. They are in the present. And so before you just open that gate and walk out to wherever they are, it's real important to breathe and remember that, and, kind of check yourself before you begin to engage with them. A lot of people are busy, and they bring that right up into their face, put a halter on them. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's hard for them.
Yeah.
Really hard. I think that they live in a much different reality. I mean, we're all energy, right?
Totally.
And I think that their reality is way different than ours, simply by the fact that they're in the present all the time.
Yes.
Even if it's not survival, they're still in the present. I mean, I've watched Ruby and Melody, who are pregnant my rescues.
Yeah.
They have just become these little Zen healers.
They're masters.
They are. And nobody's ever asked anything of them. Angel's like, you girls come if you want, go if you want. And, you know, Melody ends up laying on the ground in the middle of the circle, and Ruby goes and takes someone's mat and lays down on the mat like, okay, I'm here.
It's comical.
I know. They're so sweet.
Yeah.
And every horse, you know, should have the opportunity to be so loved and so zen that their personalities really come out, and they are truly in their very best place.
Yeah. They feel safe to be who they are and who they want to be. I think they all come with gifts.
Oh yeah.
That have been, you know, maybe hindered because there's an agenda. There's always like a purpose, the utility of the animal, and
very much so.
And just to live, you know, around a herd that is given the opportunity to participate or not. Every horse is different every day. You know, we do the same. We're a different person every day. We don't know, you know, how we're going. Like yesterday was an incredible day. I had such a good day. Things just were flowing. Things were just good. And then I woke up today and I'm just like, you know, just like that human thing that comes up. And I think it's because life for us humans does come with a lot of conditions, a lot of responsibilities.
Oh, it's hard.
It is.
It's very hard.
You know, and I think that when we consider that is pretty much the same for them, even though they don't have all those responsibilities, they do have a sense of responsibility based on their individuality and what they bring to the herd.
Oh yeah.
Even with just two horses, there's a particular dynamic between them. And it usually revolves around survival. And what's going to be safest, and I think that might be why Robyn pushes Robyn around. Robyn seems to be a little more free spirited and free, like a little more trusting, and Robyn's just like, don't do it, you know, and just like waking her up. And I think, and that's just my personal observation and thinking based on what I've seen out at our sanctuary, and they all do have purpose, but it's part of their nature. We're really nurturing the nature of the horse rather than imposing our agenda, which can be challenging. Like, we're always looking for donations to support this work because this work is really vital for our community. We have the veterans, we have cancer patients, we have children that are struggling with learning. We do have some neurodivergent children that come, and we also have some, you know, people struggling with addiction. And I think those are really pieces of our culture. You know, I think it's part of our culture, and it reminds me, there's a parallel to me with the horses that have experienced trauma, that they are finding coping mechanisms, behaviors that help them deal, you know, with the traumas they've experienced. And so that resonance, there's a resonance that happens. And when we impose on the herd to, here, we have this person, and I think I've matched you really well with this person. And I'm not downplaying equine therapy. I think that there's so much value in it. So much value and so much good.
There is.
But our focus is different, and I really believe in the results that I've seen happen, and it's not through a structure of you know, round pen, and you guys go and do this work, and you have, you know, practitioners on either side of the horse, and you have the individual. Our format is more of a freedom of expression. And when we've walked out, you know, and I've walked out with an individual into the herd, and Majesty is one that really comes to mind. Majesty is passed. We helped him transition. he was, God, such a special boy, super frightened. There's a lot of videos. I actually have a playlist of Majesty just to share and show you what I'm speaking on. Charo horse, ex-Charo horse, very much traumatized by his lifestyle prior to arriving to us. And
Yeah.
so that stuck with him, though. It was a very clear part of him. And not that the story was how we related to him, but we allowed him to express and to also shelter himself when he felt that he needed to do that. And I walked out with a gal, and she was just there just to be with horses. Like, she didn't really have a purpose. She was just like, I just want to be surrounded by horses for some reason. I've had this calling. And I'm like, that's wonderful. Let's just walk out. We'll do a walking meditation, and we'll just chill and bring it in and breathe and get grounded. And it was really lovely. Majesty, the shyest one of the herd, approached her. I might cry, sorry. And he doesn't do that. He just doesn't do that. And he approached her, immediately went for her stomach area, the solar plexus area. And he just held his head there. And she immediately started crying and didn't know why. She was so moved. Yeah. And I was too, because I'm watching this horse that naturally stays away.
Yeah.
Intentionally come in with such confidence too. It was so beautiful.
They know. They absolutely know.
And I just said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yeah, I didn't expect this reaction." And I said, "Have you experienced something recently that has caused some emotion?" And she's like, "I lost my sister 30 days ago."
Oh my God.
And he had space, and she just unloaded, and he just held her, and it was just so incredibly powerful.
Right.
That if I had put together a structure of this healing session,
no, it wouldn't have happened.
We could have lost that moment. It was just so powerful, and it impacted her on such a deep level. And I stayed in touch and tried to stay connected as long as she felt comfortable. I don't impose, just like I don't impose on the horses.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I really want to speak to imposing. Sometimes it's necessary. We have to bring in the vet. We have to do things for them that is needed for their health and well-being and such. Right. But as a whole, and in the big picture, I really find that that's where the magic happens. And and when I think of how you're giving these girls an opportunity to just be and just come around at their pace, what's necessary for them. For me, that immediately gives the unborn foal a sense of safety, and that confidence starts to build in the womb. And to me, that's so impactful for all of the life that you're saving.
I know. Everybody always says, get a PMR full.
Yeah.
They're so cool. They're the best horses. Get a PMR full.
Their personalities are so great. Yeah.
They never have a bad day from the day they hit the ground. They're like, oh yeah, I'm in paradise.
Yeah.
What's Mom's problem?
Right. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go off with the others that are my surrogates that get to, take me through the weaning process. I really want to be with them and play and sure, I'll check on Mom, but
it's just really true.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, the babies are awesome. And we've had lots of orphans in here, and that's a whole nother story.
Oh boy.
Everybody has a different path, and we just try and acknowledge where they're coming from and give them the space and the time they need to heal. And some never heal enough, and those are the horses that go to sanctuary, that get to be left alone. And they're perfectly fine, even if they're rideable. Willow's rideable. She's always been rideable, or she used to be. We have no intention of getting on Willow. It's like, that's not the point from our perspective in our work of what we do. I don't have a problem with horseback riding. I think that like anything that you do, there's a great way to do it. And it goes all the way down to, how dare you do it like this? I mean, it runs the whole gamut. So, I have seen wonderful human horse relationships. Jane comes to mind because she just adores her horses, and she loves them, and they're lovely. They're happy.
She's raised them. She had Indy with Sheba.
Yeah, so I think that
with the intent of keeping him, not to sell him.
Yeah. So the opportunity is great, and it's so wonderful when people do it right, and it's so respectful to the horses. It's just I feel like you're fitting into nature the way you're supposed to while you're on this planet.
Yeah, absolutely.
People forget that we are other nations of people, and animals are their own nation, and we're all living together on this planet, and they have as much right to be here as we do. And it's an important piece for me to feel like we all can do this without all the rage and violence and everything. But I mean, look at our morning. I feel so inspired when mornings are like this.
I know we're blessed. We're really blessed, and it's wonderful to share these two girls and what you're doing here on your property and how important it is. And that's why we really want to share this with everyone. This is so important. And I hope that as things progress, we'll be able to document more, to share. And really, that's what I love about this channel, is that the YouTube channel has been it's giving us a platform for us to share with our community. And we have a really wonderful community of subscribers. We really wish you to subscribe and follow. Please, check out the playlist, and you can see our individuals. We're maybe going to do a couple more lives where we can do individual stories, and we can talk about the orphans, and I can share some photos and things like that. When I post it, I can overlay and make sure everybody knows who we're talking about. But
very fun.
Yeah, lots of good information, lots of good. We're looking at the future. It's a bright future. We want to grow. We want to have more property. We want to help with the Mustangs, and
we're putting together a campaign right now. For those of you who don't know, we're we're partnering with beyondliberty.org, and they are all about healing and making the human horse connection and doing it where horses have choice. And it's just really a lovely environment to participate in.
Educating, and as well, we're going to be doing the retirement of the performance horses. We really want to provide a safe space for those that are no longer in their career. And that need safe haven. And
where you going there, Ray?
She's gonna go potty. Well, that's awesome that you moved away from the food, girl.
Yeah, she does all the time.
Abby doesn't.
She doesn't. What's going on?
I gotta share about Abby. We'll share about Abby another time. But I've got a couple videos on Abby and some of the hoof stuff she's dealt with, and I haven't tied it in yet, but it's all to do, I personally feel, and what I've gotten from the chiropractor is it's all from the pullbacks that she experienced. And some people wouldn't like. I think a lot of people do understand, because they're working with their horses and they're giving them body work, and they're really attuned to their horses and how they're operating in the world. And the pullbacks were so horrific. And not just one, many, and the fact that all of this stuff in the pull and the TMJ and all of this stuff that it all gets twisted, and then it just goes down the line, the spine, and that starts to impact the hind legs, the hind feet. Everything starts to be impacted. So it's just like this domino effect. And she's had chronic abscesses in her hind feet. She gets trimmed regularly. But somehow, when circulation is compromised in the body anywhere, at least in what I've witnessed, it has an impact on the whole body, and probably parts of the body you wouldn't expect. But it happens. It's just like us, So anyway, we're working on that, and I hope to share some of the body work I'm doing with her It's not just the standing in the stall or, standing out in the pasture with my hands on her. It's movement, mindful movement, and just helping her reconnect to her body, which is something we do when we're hurting. We just try to escape it.
Oh yeah.
And
too, yeah.
oh yeah,
Sure.
it's all the same.
Absolutely.
I hope that everybody's enjoyed this. We're gonna hopefully, start getting a little more interaction with them. But as you know, we don't impose on the horses. We're not going to walk up and start loving on them and petting them or trying to get Raven to accept us. We're just going to be in their space respectfully and continue to watch them progress in their pregnancy. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah. So please go to the website, look at the sponsorships. We should probably get these girls up on the sponsorship page too. And
Absolutely.
yeah, we've got the herd over at the pasture, the sanctuary, and I will continue to share about them. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I'm going to get up uncomfortably and turn this off. Thank you guys. Watch for more of our lives, okay? Thanks again, you guys.